WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Community college faculty, staff, and students are now asking for the attention of state lawmakers. Thank you for joining us tonight. They say they need more funding if they're going to keep the system running at this current level. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
Community college faculty and staff say it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep up with the demands after having no funding increases and some cuts in the last decade.
The $4.86 return for every dollar spent on community colleges, with only 7% of the educational budget being set aside for community colleges, I believe it's not only fiscally responsible to invest in community colleges, I believe it's fiscally irresponsible not to.
Community college students are bucking the brain drain trend, with 75% of them staying and working in the state after graduation. Among them, recent Pearl River Community College grad Michael Evans.
21 years old with a 2-year technical degree, using skills that I enjoy, at a job that I enjoy, and I'm making more money than I'd ever thought I'd see at this age. And I have zero college debt.
Tate Reeves called for raising professor pay across the board at community colleges during his campaign for governor. He notes that as the state asks more of the community college system with workforce training, it adds to that need for increased pay.
We actually have to have instructors that can train them in such a way that they can be successful in life. To get those instructors, we have to, for the most part, hire them not from other educational institutions, but from the private sector.
The Faculty Association is asking for lawmakers to provide enough funding to bring salaries to at least the midpoint between K-12 teachers and university professors. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Now the big question is, where are those students headed when they get their degrees? Many of them are packing their bags and moving out of state. But as our Cash Matlock reports, one Starkville-based company is trying to stop that brain drain.
100 Research Boulevard is the home office of Camgian Microsystems. Known for its modern design and innovative products, the company is often compared to Silicon Valley, and for good reason.
Some of the real growth took place in 2009 when they acquired a section of Cypress Semiconductor, which is a Silicon-based Valley company.
Camgian designs products for commercial sale, but they also specialize in military equipment.
We build a variety of different sensor and information technology platforms, such as radar systems, cameras that can be deployed on the battlefield to collect real-time information.
One such product is the low-power radar and imaging system that can see up to 500 meters, or 5 football fields away.
So this can be deployed on the battlefield to detect and track different types of targets. So targets meaning it could be people, it could be vehicles, it could be boats.
The company has become a hub for engineers graduating from nearby universities.
We're slowing that brain drain, and we do aggressively recruit the top students at both Mississippi State and the University of Alabama, and we try to retain those here.
But it's not just recent graduates that are finding their way to Camgian. Doug Gosney is Vice President of Defense Programs. After retiring from the military, he thought he would have to move away to find a job to use his specialized skills.
We really wanted to find an opportunity where we can still continue to make a difference for the warfighter if on the other side of the equation. When we retired here, we didn't know we were going to have an opportunity to find such a great spot with Camgian.
Camgian CEO Gary Butler says Mississippi engineers can go toe-to-toe with engineers across the globe. He says it's important to develop and keep educated people in the state.
That was our Cash Matlock reporting there. Camgian was developed in 2006 and has always been headquartered in Starkville.
No changes in the last few hours. We are still cloudy. We have rain. We have some thunder showers out there. Not a lot of thunder and lightning. Tupelo, Vernon, Alabama, at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi, and Columbus, all at 53 degrees right now on the temperatures. So we've got temperatures in the 50s. The steadiest rain southeast of the Natchez Trace, lighter amounts back to the northwest. But areas of rain during the night, lows down to around 50. 52 at 7 o'clock. Here's Diva with our first alert forecast tomorrow. She looks like a diva enjoying some sunshine there, but we should see the clouds thin out tomorrow afternoon. If we do see the clouds thin out, I think we'll get into lower 60s in the afternoon after a gloomy start, and nearly 100% sunshine Friday and Saturday. Something to look forward to. Your full forecast is coming up.
Well, it's a topic that's stirring up conversation in Starkville, installing parking meters in the Cotton District. Now, currently, parking in the Cotton District is free. However, Mayor Lynn Spruill says there's a recurring problem. People are leaving their cars in some spots all day, taking up spaces for potential customers. Business owners we spoke with have mixed reviews about the possibility of implementing these parking meters.
I love it. Absolutely love it. What it will do is hopefully it will free up spaces for people who want to come over here to eat and limit other people's time that is used that we see people parking over here, then going up here and catching the buses to the university. And it would make those spaces available, or they would pay for the time that they're there.
Just taking into consideration that if we were just enforcing the laws as they are, then we would have a lot more revenue from that instead of having to have meters put in, which is also going to cause a lot of, I think it'll slow down traffic. If people have a choice between coming to the Cotton District to eat or, you know, to come get a book or something, or they can go somewhere else where they don't have to pay, they'll go somewhere else.
So far, aldermen have heard presentations from 3 companies. Mayor Spruill says they'll be talking to 1 more before making a vote on this matter. Super Tuesday was far from super for most of the field of Democratic contenders for president. Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders dominated the contest, leaving the rest to reassess their strategies. Former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg called it quits today, and many are now wondering if Senator Elizabeth Warren isn't too far behind. Beth Germano of CBS affiliate WBZ is in Boston and has more.
It seemed business as usual at the Warren campaign headquarters in Charlestown, with staffers coming and going, but no sign of the candidate there or at her Cambridge home. She remained out of public view as questions continued to mount about whether she would stay in the race, and voters have already formed some opinions.
I think she should probably drop out. We need a unity among the Democrats in order to beat Trump.
The momentum with the youth, with Bernie, is so strong.
Her campaign manager acknowledged to staff members in a memo her disappointing performance on Super Tuesday, including a devastating third-place finish in her home state. She's going to take time right now to think through the right way to continue this fight. Democratic strategist Alex Goldstein says it's likely a conversation now about leverage.
How do I extract the most of what I care about from a policy perspective out of the rest of this conversation? And does that mean I stay in? Does that mean I endorse somebody now? I imagine that's the conversation they're having right now.
Goldstein says she may try to rack up a few more delegates next week that she can carry into the convention to try to influence the Democratic platform. Senator Bernie Sanders says he spoke with her by phone today, and she has yet to make up her mind.
It is important, I think, for all of us, certainly me, who has known Elizabeth Warren for many, many years, to respect the time and the space that she needs to make her decision.
Cast a vote that will make you proud.
That was Elizabeth Warren last night, appearing to fight on, but pressure is mounting.
And I admire her persistence. And so maybe she can turn that into something.
Aides simply say she is reassessing her path forward, but her campaign manager makes it clear the decision is hers. In Cambridge, I'm Beth Germano, WBZ News.
And now turning our attention over to weather. Keith, another day of rainfall.
Just every day these days, Quentin. Every day we have rain out there, live view in Columbus. We just had a flash of lightning out there. We're in the 50s. We have some rain out there now. And tomorrow morning, eventually the clouds will thin tomorrow afternoon, and that should allow temperatures to get back into the 60s. We have that sun for the weekend. We'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It's Wednesday, and it's always wise to look towards the weekend, right in the middle of the work week when it's gloomy. And we actually have something to look forward to. High pressure, sunshine Saturday and Sunday. We're back into the 60s. Now, also this weekend is our time change. We go back to daylight saving time. So we will be shifting daylight into the evening. The sunset Saturday, 5:56. By Sunday evening, just about 7 o'clock. So don't forget about that as we get into your early Sunday morning at 2 a.m. This morning, about 2:30 a.m. down here in Madison. Look at that strong storm. Very strong wind with that. Most likely some straight line wind damage there north of Jackson this morning, but very powerful storms down there earlier today. And really across the region over the last 48 hours, north and south of our area, big time storms. And let's talk about these tornadoes in central Tennessee. Nashville, the one there, rated an EF3. This evening in Cookeville, that one was rated EF4. That's actually the strongest tornado in central Tennessee in over a decade. Surveys are still ongoing up there, but it's always wise to have multiple ways of getting warning information, one of which is the WCBI mobile app. We'll send you those push alerts, rather, as the warnings get issued, and of course live coverage. Make sure you have a weather alert radio. Those will go off and just wake you up in the middle of the night when we have storms rolling on through. But tonight, we do have some lightning and thunder. No severe weather in our area tonight. That was our Tupelo time lapse. You can see the rain coming back in Louisville, Macon, Columbus, Starkville, West Point. It's wet, not as wet back to the northwest. And that will be the general trend here tonight. Heaviest rain southeast, not as wet back to the northwest. The last dose of rain is out here in Texas right now. That will be coming our way over the next 12 to 18 hours. So maybe over an inch still in the southeast tonight, not as much in the northwest tonight into tomorrow morning. So Futurecast doing a relatively decent job. We'll wake up to around 50 degrees Thursday morning. Cloud showers. You'll need the umbrella and a raincoat for the commute. By midday, still mostly cloudy. Showers beginning to pull away. And if we're lucky, some breaks starting to develop in the northwest. By mid-afternoon, likely 60s if we start to thin out those clouds as expected. We go clear tomorrow night. Temperatures fall down into the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Sunny and 50s for your Friday. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. So 62 tomorrow, 40 tomorrow night. Maybe a freeze Saturday morning, Quentin, down to 31, but there's that nice weekend, some 60s, some sun will dry it out. Warmer 70s next week, but the trade-off will be more rain.
So we'll have back-to-back clear, sunny days this weekend.
A rarity this year.
We hadn't gotten it in 2020.
We've had very few nice days, and it's actually going to be another decent weekend.
Who made Mother Nature upset? Was it you?
I don't know who did, but at this point, she's actually timing the weekends good. The weekdays not so bad, or not so good, but at least the weekends have been okay.
Okay, we'll take the good while we can.
We will.
Thank you so much, Keith. Well, if you're going to snap a conference losing streak, now is the time to do it. Could the Lady Rebels bounce back at tourney time? Well, we'll have the highlights later in sports.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Quentin Smith.
Welcome back. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Now, colon cancer is treatable if it's caught early, and thankfully there's a simple screening that can do just that. We find out more in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
Hey, I'm Dr. Richard Hurd, part of the gastroenterology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Our team wants to make sure you are aware just how common colon cancer is and how you can prevent it. Did you know that the lifetime risk of developing colon cancer is 1 in 20? Here are 20 people. Who out of this group is the unlucky one? Colon cancer is the third most common cancer and the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths, and it's preventable. Why is a preventable cancer the second leading cause of colon cancer deaths? It's simple. Not enough people are getting their colonoscopies. Colonoscopy can prevent colon cancer by snipping out small growths called polyps before they get too big. If you wait until you have problems to get checked out, it may be too late. Who needs a colonoscopy? If you're 50 years old, you need one, period. If you have a family history of cancers or polyps, you may need one sooner and should ask your doctor. Colonoscopy isn't as bad as you think. We take great effort to protect your privacy, and we demand professionalism from our staff. We give you medicine to help you sleep during the procedure, and you get the day off from work. Don't let the fear of a colonoscopy give colon cancer a head start. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we'll discuss what happens after you're diagnosed with colon cancer.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Starkville dominates on its way to yet another state championship appearance. We'll have the highlights from Jackson next in sports.
Here's sports with Tom Ebel.
The final day of semifinals basketball in Jackson. Starkville one win away from getting a chance to compete for back-to-back titles. Yellow Jackets taking on Harrison Central in the 6A semis. Ladies and gentlemen, step right up to the Colty Young show. Forte Prater driving kick to Young. Corner for three. It's a bucket. Young again, the corner triple. Same result, a little bit of deja vu. And the very next play, Prater to Young. You know how this ends. Top of the key triple. Three-point buckets for Young in the first. And it would continue in the second. It's Young again, the two-hand flush, a walking highlight. 11 points in the first for Young. Starkville on top. Prater, a pick-and-roll machine. How about that pass to Jamarvius Phillips? Starkville, absolutely dominant. They'll compete for back-to-back state championships. Jackets get the win, 70-53. Houston at the Big House for the first time in 27 years, taking on defending champ Velma Jackson. Shamar Crawford, offensive rebound, cleans up the mess off the window for two. Houston with the early lead. 1 minute remaining. Inbounds alley-oop to Xavier Verges. Toppers down only one, keeping it close. Second quarter, Velma Jackson answers with a lob of their own. It's Jordan Harvey with the two-hand alley-oop finish. Velma Jackson on top. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Crawford, grown man take, and one bucket. Velma Jackson, though, they're the defending champions for a reason. They get the win over Houston, 61-44. The SEC Women's Basketball Tournament underway in Greenville, South Carolina. Going winless in conference play in the regular season, Ole Miss hoping to shock the world with a first-round upset, taking on Missouri. 14th ranked Ole Miss matching up with 11th ranked Missouri. Regular season matchup went the Tigers' way, 82-67. Tigers looking good in the first half. That's Haley Troop with the three ball, 23-16 Missouri. A few moments later, Mimi Reed, top of the key, takes the pick. She'll go right to the cup. Nice hesitation, finger roll for the finish. It's a 6-point Missouri lead. Ole Miss finds himself down 10. Tootie Rankin, the short corner bucket, gets the score under 10. And the Rebels not going away. 6-point ball game. Mimi Reed comes up with the steal. She's out in transition, one person to beat. Hesitation, gather, finishes off the window for two. Right before halftime, Missouri gets some momentum. Amber Smith, the trailer, left alone with the wing triple. Missouri takes a 10-point lead at the break, and they pick up right where they left off in the second half. Haley Frank off the offensive rebound. Here's Frank. Oh, it's a step-back triple, my goodness. Missouri eliminates Ole Miss 64-53. The Rebels becoming the first women's team in the SEC since Alabama in 07 to go without a win against a league opponent. Courtney Robb recaps day one in Greenville.
The beginning, the middle, and the end of conference play all looking exactly the same for Ole Miss women's basketball, plagued by losses. Ole Miss falling to 0-17 in conference play. The most recent loss just coming on the biggest stage that Ole Miss has seen yet this season, the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Ole Miss coming to Greenville, South Carolina as the 14th seed, going up against 11th seeded Missouri. Ole Miss falling behind Missouri after the Tigers went on an 0-6 run headed into halftime. The Rebels just unable to pull off the comeback going into the second half, falling to Missouri ultimately with a final of 64-53. Ole Miss head coach Yolette McPhee-McQuinn wasting absolutely no time being sad, just saying she's using the 2019-2020 season as a learning experience.
Truly believe that this is my ministry, helping young women. And so anytime I would feel like quitting, because I'm human too, and you know, I've won a lot, I just said I need to be the example for the players. I need to show them how to be, how to grow, how to get through adversity.
Started to not believe, and we started to almost give in to, you know, the things that we kind of struggled with all season. And then we had to recollect and remind ourselves that we came this far now. You don't stop, you don't quit. So I think the disconnect came, and then we just decided to snap back, and the coaches just kept pushing us and kept coaching us. So I think we was able to regroup really quickly.
After finishing the 2019-2020 season with a 7-23 overall record and not a single conference win, it's safe to say for Ole Miss that there's nowhere else to go from here other than up. Reporting at Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
Thanks for that, Courtney. Ole Miss men's basketball getting the win 75-67. Bree and Tyree big on senior night. They'll take on Mississippi State on Saturday. Big game to close the year.
And speaking of Mississippi State, the women's, they play
on Friday. Yep, we'll have more from the Bulldogs coming up tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, Tom. We'll have a last look at your forecast after the break.
WCBI sports coverage of the 2020 SEC Women's Basketball Tournament in Greenville is brought to you by Columbus Orthopedic. Trust one place. Cannon Ford of Starkville. Nobody beats a Cannon deal. Nobody. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Do we have any sunshine in the future, Keith?
A little bit tomorrow, but more for the weekend.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.